We are back from our family road trip out west to the towering Rocky Mountains and back to Wisconsin with our rolling hills and lakes and rivers and valleys. And the contrast feels dramatic. I mean, driving mountain roads, I had both hands on the wheel, my eyes on the road, foot ready to move from gas to brake. Every curve demanded my attention. But it was beautiful, but it was also intense. And now we're back in Wisconsin, and the roads here, you can put on your cruise control. You have to watch for deer, but you enjoy the ride, and it feels a lot calmer.
Definitely different. That contrast can help us to hear Psalm 121 today, where we read, I lift my eyes to the mountains. Where does my help come from? Now, for the psalmist, mountains actually represented danger because there could be robbers around the bend or storms gathering overhead. Just the dangerous, treacherous path of the mountains. But metaphorically for us, the mountains often represent challenges that we face in our lives.
Yeah, some of us are climbing the mountain of worry or anxiety, waking up at 3 a.m. with racing thoughts, or other people are facing the mountain of depression, where it's hard to get out of bed in the morning. Many people are facing financial stress these days. It's just reality. Prices are up. But we're also facing loneliness and all this epidemic of loneliness in our world today. So people are battling all kinds of things. And maybe it's caring for a parent or raising a certain child. I mean, the list goes on and on. We are facing just uncertain things. That is a mountain. And just like the real mountains, these mountains are usually harder than we expected, higher than we imagined, and longer than we planned for.
That's for sure. So many mountains in life. Being in Colorado reminded me that mountains also inspire awe, they inspire wonder, but they're also kind of bring us to a place of humility. Like when I stand at the base of Mount Royal in Frisco, my eyes are drawn up in awe and wonder. It's so beautiful, it's so awe inspiring, but I also feel small under the largeness of it.
Yeah.
At the base of the mountain. So there's this humility that it evokes in us. It reminds us how small we are, how little control we actually have. So many times we live with that illusion of control, but life just regularly reminds us, the mountains remind us how fragile things can be, which is exactly why the psalmist says, where does my help come from? That's the question we ask at the base of a mountain.
Yeah, and the answer comes quickly. My help comes from the Lord, the maker of heaven and earth. I mean, God is bigger than the mountains. I mean, that's what it is saying. Bigger than the mountains. Actually, over in Psalm 95, it says, in his hand are the depths of the earth, and the mountain peaks belong to him. I
So
mean,
cool.
I love that image that God holds the mountain peaks in his hand. And it doesn't strain him, it doesn't take effort, it doesn't even take both hands. One hand. He's got another hand ready.
Sometimes our faith gets stretched when the mountains appear. When life is going well, it's easy to imagine God as manageable, like God is loving and kind and close, and of course God is all of those things. But when we stand at facing a diagnosis, or when our marriage is struggling, or when the job disappears, when the grief arrives and it just stays for longer than we'd like, we're at a mountain, and suddenly we're asking, like, where are you, God? Where does my help come from? Have you forsaken me in this? And those are the moments where we have the chance to discover something important. And that is that God is far bigger than we ever imagined. Because if God were small enough to fully understand,
Oof.
God would not be big enough to save. There's this mystery to God and the ways of God that it's often revealed at the base of a mountain.
Yeah. And the mountain that makes us feel small is itself small to God. So the mountain that exhausts us does not exhaust God. The mountain that blocks our view and we cannot see anything else does not block God's view. The mountain that frightens us doesn't frighten God. So whatever mountain you face today, it's not bigger than God, who holds that mountain in his hands.
So really the question is, what mountain are you facing? Maybe it's still on the horizon for you, or maybe it's way off, like a distant concern, or maybe it is right in front of you, like towering over you, stealing your sleep at night, filling your heart with fear. Psalm 121 gives us this simple invitation: lift up your eyes, not because the mountain will save you, but because beyond the mountains is the God who made them, the God who holds them, and the God who holds you and I too.
Well, the mountain may be big, but God is bigger. So let's lift up our eyes and look to God, the maker, the creator of the heavens and the earth, who holds you and the mountains in his hand.